Again today we are going to solve the university problem of marginal costing. So this is the question which was asked in October 2010. October 2010 question. Following information is available in respect of G Limited and D Limited. Now in this question we have two companies. One is G Limited, the another one is D Limited. Particulars: G Limited, D Limited. Sales of G Limited 11 lakh, sales of D Limited 14 lakhs. Variable cost of G Limited 8 lakh 80,000, D Limited 10 lakh 50,000. Profit: G Limited 1 lakh 20,000, D Limited 2 lakhs. Calculate first PV ratio of both companies. Second, fixed cost of both companies. Third, break-even point of both companies. Fourth, sales to earn profit of rupees 2,10,000 by each company. And fifth, margin of safety of only D Limited. So let us start the solution. I hope you must be having this question with you. So let us start the solution. Please solve along with me. Sunil as well as Lakshmi, आप मेरे साथ solve करो so that you will understand. Question is already with you. The first thing that they are asking is PV ratio of both company. The formula for PV ratio is contribution upon sales into 100. But if you see the question, contribution is not given. So first we will have to calculate the contribution of both company, because we have sales but we don't have contribution. So let us calculate contribution first. Now how you will be able to calculate contribution? Contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost. This is the formula or equation for calculating contribution. So let us calculate contribution for G Limited. G Limited का sales कितना है? 11 lakhs. G Limited का variable cost कितना है? It is 8 lakh 80,000. That is equal to, so let us calculate the contribution of G Limited. 11 lakhs minus 8 lakh 80,000, that is equal to 2,20,000. I hope even you are getting 2,20,000. So G Limited का contribution is 2,20,000. Same way, let us calculate the contribution of D Limited. D Limited का sales कितना है? 14 lakhs. Minus D Limited का variable cost, it is 10 lakh 50,000. So let us calculate 14 lakhs minus 10 lakh 50,000. So we are getting delimited का contribution as very good Lakshmi 3,50,000. Okay, हम लोग ने contribution क्यों calculate किया? Because PV ratio, in the formula of PV ratio we have contribution. The formula says contribution upon sales into 100. So we didn't have contribution in the question. That is why we calculated contribution. Now let us calculate PV ratio. But for that you know the formula. You should know the formula for PV ratio. So let us write the formula for PV ratio. PV ratio is equal to contribution upon sales into 100. So if you solve this, we'll have to put the value, but before that we have two different companies. So let us calculate first for G Limited. G Limited का contribution is 2,20,000 upon sales. G Limited का sales 11 lakhs into 100. So that gives you, let us calculate, 2,20,000 into 100 divided by 11 lakhs, 20%. I hope even you are getting this 20%. So this is the PV ratio for G Limited. Same way we will have to calculate for D Limited. It's very simple. 3,50,000 upon D Limited sales. D Limited sales is 14 lakhs. 14 lakhs into 100. So this will give you, let us calculate, 3,50,000 divided by 14 lakhs into 100 will give you, excellent, 25%. So the PV ratio for G Limited is 20% and for D Limited is 25%. Okay, now we'll have to actually do one thing. Always put the answer in the circle. You will have to highlight your answer. So G Limited ka PV ratio is 20% and D Limited ka it is 25%. Now let us go to answer the next part. Second, we'll go for the second one. Let's see second kya pucha hai. Second, they are asking fixed cost of both companies. Okay, fixed cost of both companies. So let us try to calculate. Now how to calculate fixed cost? Again, it's very simple, because now we have contribution of both the company, we have profit of both the company. Difference of these two will be your fixed cost. Because if you see the statement क्या बोलता है? Sales minus variable cost is contribution. Contribution minus fixed cost is profit. So if we have contribution and if we have profit, we can easily calculate fixed cost. So fixed cost, it will be contribution minus fixed cost is equal to profit. This is the equation that we have. We have contribution, we have profit, but we don't have fixed cost. So we can easily calculate the fixed cost. Or we can say this way that fixed cost is equal to contribution minus profit. It is one and the same thing. What we have done, ये फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट को अगर इधर लेके जाएंगे तो वो प्लस हो जाएगा. दिस इज माइनस फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट. इधर जाएगा तो प्लस हो जाएगा. सो इट विल बी प्रॉफिट प्लस फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट. देन योर इक्वेशन विल बी कंट्रीब्यूशन इज इक्वल टू प्रॉफिट प्लस फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट. सो अगेन अगर प्रॉफिट को इधर लेके जाएंगे ये साइड में, then it will be contribution minus profit. So it's the same equation. Fixed cost is equal to contribution minus profit. Okay, so now let us try to calculate the fixed cost of both the companies. हम लोग सबसे पहले calculate करेंगे for G Limited. So let us calculate for G Limited. G Limited is equal to G Limited का contribution कितना? G Limited का contribution 2,20,000. Correct. 2,20,000 minus G Limited profit is 1,20,000. So 2,20,000 minus 1,20,000 will give you rupees 1 lakh. So this is the fixed cost of G Limited. Now same way we will have to calculate the fixed cost of D Limited. D Limited का contribution is 3,50,000 minus D Limited fixed cost. D Limited fixed cost is D Limited का contribution is 3,50,000. D Limited का profit is 2 lakhs. That is equal to rupees 3,50,000 minus 2 lakh will give you 1,50,000. So we were able to calculate the fixed cost of G Limited as well as the fixed cost of D Limited. So we have solved the second part also. I hope you are understanding. Now let us try to calculate the third part. The third part क्या पूछा है? Third part में break even point of both companies. Okay, break even point का formula is fixed cost upon PV ratio. So let us try to calculate the third part. We'll have to give the heading as break even point of both companies. Let us write the formula for break even. Please don't use short form in the exams. Exams में you will have to write the full form. Short forms are not allowed in the exam. You will lose your marks in case if you write short forms. हमेशा full form लिखने का. So BEP is not allowed in the exam. You will have to write break even point. Okay, so the formula for break even point is fixed cost upon PV ratio. हम लोग पहले कैलकुलेट करेंगे G Limited का. So let us calculate the break even point for G Limited. G Limited का fixed cost is, just now we have calculated, G Limited का fixed cost is 1 lakh upon G Limited का PV ratio. G Limited PV ratio is 20%. So if we calculate this, let's see how much we are getting. 1 lakh divided by 20%. So we are getting rupees 5 lakhs. Same way, let us calculate the break-even point for D Limited. D Limited का fixed cost is 1,50,000 divide by D Limited का PV ratio. D Limited का PV ratio is 25%. So that is equal to rupees. Let us calculate 1,50,000 divide by 25% will give you rupees 6 lakhs. So we will have to circle this answers. We'll have to always highlight these answers. Okay, so we were able to calculate the third part also. Now let us try to calculate the fourth part. Fourth part, what they are asking. Fourth part क्या पूछा है? Sales to earn profit of rupees 2,10,000 by each company. Okay. So let us give the heading. Sales to earn profit of rupees 2,10,000 by each company. Now this is like you will have to calculate the expected sales, or you can say desired sales. So you should know the formula for expected sales. Expected sales is equal to expected profit plus fixed cost upon PV ratio. So expected profit to ठीक है, expected profit we have, plus fixed cost also we have, and we have PV ratio also. So we can calculate this. We don't require anything. We can go ahead with the formula of expected sales. So we will say expected sales is equal to expected expected profit plus fixed cost upon PV ratio. Now let us calculate for the G Limited first. G Limited, come on, expected profit will be same for both the companies. So we will take 2,10,000 plus fixed cost of G Limited. Very good question, Sunil. Your question is how you will come to know whether you will have to calculate the break-even point in rupees or in unit. Very good question. See, the formula for calculating break-even point in rupees is fixed cost upon PV ratio. Okay, so that is what we have calculated here. If you see, for break-even point we have calculated in rupees. Why we have calculated? Because the formula is fixed cost upon PV ratio, and the formula for break-even point in unit is fixed cost upon contribution per unit. Then in that case you will not take PV ratio. If you want to calculate break-even point in unit, you will not take PV ratio. In that case you will have to take contribution per unit. But if you see the question, nowhere in the question contribution per unit is given, and there is no information by which you will be able to calculate contribution per unit. मतलब आप है ना कुछ भी करके contribution per unit है ना निकाल नहीं सकते, because information दिया ही नहीं है किधर भी. So until and unless you get contribution per unit, you won't be able to calculate break-even point in unit. So the only option left with you is to calculate break-even point in rupees, because PV ratio is available. So that is why we have calculated break-even point in rupees. Now the next question could be, what if we have PV ratio also as well as contribution per unit also? Suppose if we have both the information with us, in that case what? In that case you will have to calculate for both. You will have to calculate for rupees also, as well as you will have to calculate for unit also. Okay, I think the point is clear. Right now we didn't had contribution per unit, so we went for rupees, break-even point in rupees. Okay, so let us proceed. We are trying to calculate the expected sales of G Limited. So the formula is expected profit plus fixed cost. Fixed cost of G Limited is 1 lakh whole upon PV ratio. PV ratio of G Limited is 20%. So if you calculate this, it will be 3,10,000 upon 20%. So that will give you, let us calculate, 3,10,000 divided by 20% will give you rupees 15,50,000. So here we were able to calculate the expected sales of G Limited if the expected profit is 2,10,000. Same way, let us calculate the expected sales for D Limited. The formula will remain same, the equation will remain same. We want expected profit. Expected profit will be same for both the companies as it is given in the question. So 2,10,000 is expected profit plus fixed cost. Fixed cost of D Limited is what's the fixed cost of D Limited? 1,50,000. So let us put the value of fixed cost. So 2,10,000 plus 1,50,000 upon PV ratio. PV ratio of D Limited is 25%. So if we calculate this, we will get 3,60,000 divide by 25%. So that will give you, let us calculate, 3,60,000 divided by 25%, 14,40,000. 14,40,000. So that is how we were able to calculate the expected sales of G Limited as well as of D Limited. So successfully we were able to solve the fourth part also. Now let us try to solve the fifth part. Now in fifth part, what is asked is margin of safety of D Limited. It's very simple. Margin of safety of D Limited. We should know the formula for margin of safety. Do you know the formula for margin of safety? What is the formula for margin of safety? Lakshmi, Sunil, what is the formula for margin of safety? Are you there? Lakshmi, Sunil, are you there? What is the formula for margin of safety? Okay, let it be. I'll tell you, there are two formulas for margin of safety. One is actual sales minus break-even sales, and the second one is profit. Yes, very good. The second formula is profit upon PV ratio. So the first one is actual sales minus break-even sales, and the second one is profit upon PV ratio. So here we are going to apply the first formula, that is actual sales minus break-even sales. Why we are going to apply this? Because what we want is, we want the margin of safety of D limited. We know the actual sales of D limited and we know the break-even sales of D limited. So we can easily find out margin of safety. So let us find out D limited. Actual sales of D limited is how much? Find out actual sales of D limited. Break-even profit. I'll come back to you, Sunil. I'm not getting you what you are trying to ask me. Let me finish this. Actual sales is how much? 14 lakhs. 14 lakhs minus break-even sales. Break-even sales is 6 lakhs. So if we calculate this, we will get rupees 8 lakhs. So this is how we were able to calculate the margin of safety for D limited. If you want to calculate, you can calculate by one more method. You can use the another formula as well, profit upon PV ratio. If you see the profit of D limited, the profit of D limited is how much? Profit of D limited is 2 lakh. So if you apply the second formula, that is profit upon PV ratio, still you will get the same answer. So profit is 2 lakh. 2 lakh divided by PV ratio of D limited is 25%. So 2 lakh divided by 25%, still you will get the same thing. You will get 8 lakh rupees. So you can see you are getting same thing, 8 lakhs. Now coming back to your query, Sunil, your doubt, you are saying but break-even profit. I'm not getting your question. I'm not able to understand what you are trying to ask me. Break-even profit. There are two formulas for calculating margin of safety. One is actual sales minus break-even sales, and the second one is profit upon PV ratio. Whatever formula you apply, you will get the same answer. Sunil, can you clarify your point? I'm not able to understand. What exactly you are trying to ask me? Sunil, are you there? Okay. We have completed the first question of October 2010. Let us go for the, I hope there is no query. Lakshmi, sometimes you were offline, so you don't have to worry. You can see the recording of this lecture from your login page. You will have to click on my list, and then you will have to click on past classes. So under past classes, you will be able to see the recording of this lecture. So let us go for the next question of October 2013. So this is the question of October 2013. The question says profit volume ratio is 25%. Margin of safety is rupees 4,20,000, which is 30% of total sales. From the above information, calculate first total sales, second fixed cost, third sales to earn a profit of rupees 1,40,000, and fourth profit on present sale. So these are the four things that we will have to calculate, and we have only two informations. In fact, three informations available with us. Two information available, we can easily calculate the third information. So let us try to solve this question. The first thing that they are asking is about total sales. Now, how to get the total sales? By which information we will be able to get the total sales? The first information which is given to us is profit to volume ratio, 25%. The formula for PV ratio is contribution upon sales into 100. Very good Sunil. With the help of margin of safety, we will be able to get total sales. So let us apply the formula. In fact, we don't require the formula. What they are saying margin of safety is 4,20,000, which is very good cross multiplication, which is 30% of total sales. So if you want total sales, TS indicates total sales, then we'll have to assume total sales as 100%. You will have to do the cross multiplication. So if you do the cross multiplication, you will be able to get the total sales. We'll have to actually calculate. So calculate and see how much you're getting. One lakh, sorry, 14 lakh. Sunil, even you are getting the same thing? So total sales is equal to, we can say, 4,20,000 into 100 divide by 30. Sunil, are you getting the same answer? 4,20,000 into 100 divided by 30 into 100 divided by 30 will give you 14 lakhs. You're correct. You both of you are correct. Rupees 14 lakhs. So let us circle this. So we were able to calculate the first part. Let us try to calculate the second part. In second part, they are asking fixed cost. Now, how to calculate fixed cost? What do you think? How we will be able to calculate fixed cost? Now we have three information with us. We have profit volume ratio, we have margin of safety, we have total sales. With this three information, we have to calculate fixed cost. How we will be able? Very good, excellent Sunil. PVR, PV ratio. Let us try to calculate the fixed cost with the help of PV ratio. Second, PV ratio. What exactly we are trying to calculate? The second, they are asking us fixed cost. So let us give the heading of fixed cost. We'll apply the formula for PV ratio. Of PV ratio, PV ratio is equal to contribution upon sales into 100. PV ratio is already given. PV ratio is how much? PV ratio is 25%. So 25% is equal to contribution. Okay. So if we calculate this, we will get contribution, and we don't have profit. I guess this formula will be little difficult for you to calculate fixed cost, because in this formula you will get contribution, but still once you get contribution, how you will calculate fixed cost? ये formula से contribution तो मिल जाएगा, but fixed cost कैसा मिलेगा उसके बाद? So let us not apply this formula. Let us go with the different method of calculating fixed cost. So let me undo. Let me remove this. We want fixed cost. How to calculate fixed cost? See, we have margin of safety, we have total sales. Total sales is nothing but actual sales. Will it be possible for us to calculate break-even sales? हमारे पास margin of safety है, हमारे पास actual sales है. Can we apply the formula of margin of safety is equal to actual sales minus break-even sales? Yes, we can. Let us try. Margin of safety is equal to actual sales minus break-even sales margin of safety is 4,20,000. That is equal to actual sales. Actual sales actual sales is nothing but total sales. So total sales is 14 lakhs minus break-even sales. So we can say break-even sales is equal to 14 lakhs minus 4,20,000. That is equal to, so let us calculate, 14 lakh minus 4,20,000 will give you 9,80,000. Excellent. But this is not our answer of second part. The second part is about fixed cost. We will have to calculate fixed cost. So now we got break-even sales, and we know the formula for break-even sales. The formula for break-even sales is fixed cost upon PV ratio. We have break-even sales, we have PV ratio, but we don't have fixed cost. So with the help of that, we will be able to calculate fixed cost. So let us try. Break-even sales is equal to fixed cost upon PV ratio. So that is we have break-even sales, which is 9,80,000 is equal to fixed cost upon PV ratio. PV ratio is 25%. So if we calculate this, we will get fixed cost is equal to 25% is dividing here, it will go there, then it will multiply. 9,80,000 into 25%. So that comes to 9,80,000 into 25% will give you 2,45,000. So I hope you're getting this answer, 2,45,000. So this becomes our fixed cost. Now this is the exact answer of second part, so we can circle this. 2,45,000 is our fixed cost. Now what is the third thing that we'll have to calculate? Sales to earn a profit of rupees 1,40,000. So let us give the heading. Third, sales to earn a profit of rupees 1,40,000. I think it's 1,40,000. Yeah, it's 1,40,000. Now this is the heading. Now again we'll have to apply the formula of expected sales. Expected sales is equal to expected profit plus fixed cost upon PV ratio. That is equal to expected profit is 1,40,000 plus fixed cost, just now we calculated, is 2,45,000 upon PV ratio. PV ratio is 25%. So 1,40,000 plus 2,45,000 is equal to 3,85,000. So 3,85,000 upon 25%. That will give you 3,85,000 divided by 25% will give you rupees 15,40,000. Excellent. You're correct, Lakshmi. Expected sales we got as 15,40,000. Now what next they are asking? The last one, profit on present sale. Present sales means our actual sales. So our actual sales is nothing but total sales. So the total sales is 14 lakhs. So let us give the heading. Fourth heading, profit on a sale of rupees 14 lakhs. So again we'll have to apply the same formula. Expected sales is equal to expected profit plus fixed cost upon PV ratio. This time we have sales, so we'll put the value for sales. 14 lakh is equal to fixed expected profit. We don't have expected profit. We'll have to calculate expected profit plus fixed cost. Fixed cost is 2,45,000 upon PV ratio, which is 25%. So if we solve this, this will be 14 lakhs into 25% is equal to expected profit plus 2,45,000. So 14 lakh का 25% कितना आता है? 14 lakh into 25% will give you 3,50,000. 3,50,000 is equal to expected profit plus 2,45,000. Therefore, expected profit is equal to 3,50,000 minus 2,45,000. So expected profit will be 3,50,000 minus 2,45,000. Expected, excellent, 1,05,000. Again you are correct. Lakshmi Tusi great oh. 1,05,000 is our expected profit if the sales is 14 lakhs. Now we can actually tally. If you see, we can tally all this thing. How? I'll show you. Sales. Our present sales is how much? Current sale is 14 lakhs minus variable cost Is it possible to get variable cost? Yes, it's very simple. If PV ratio is 25%, that means variable cost will be 75%. So variable cost is 75%. So let us write here variable cost is 75% of sales. So let us calculate 14 lakhs into 75% will give you 10,50,000. 10,50,000. Now if we subtract this, you will get contribution. So contribution will be 14 lakh minus 10 lakh. So contribution is 3,50,000. From this you subtract fixed cost. Our fixed cost is 2,50,000. Sorry, 2,45,000. Now again you subtract fixed cost from contribution. You will get profit. So your profit will be 3,50,000 minus 2,45,000, 1,05,000. So if you see we are getting same 1,05,000. That means we are correct. So this is how you can verify if you want. In case if you have time in the exam, you can verify. Okay. I hope you have understood both the questions. So Sunil, yes, I hope, yes, even Lakshmi must have understood. That is how she was able to answer. So Lakshmi, the questions which were given by you, we were able to solve it successfully. If you say, we will wind up, otherwise we will continue. We'll go for the next question. Sunil, Lakshmi, shall I continue or shall we stop? What, yes, continue or stop? Okay, go ahead. So let us go for the next question. I got green signal from Lakshmi to go ahead. So let us take another question of Mumbai University. Let us take the question of March 2013. March 2013. Now let me copy the question of March 2013. So this is the question which was asked in March 2013. I hope you have this question with you. Let us try to understand the question. The following figures related to Amit Limited. Selling price per unit rupees 40. Direct materials per unit rupees 12. Direct labor per unit rupees 9. Other variable overhead per unit rupees 7. Fixed factory overhead 3,20,000. Fixed office overhead 4,30,000. Calculate first PV ratio, second break-even sales in unit as well as rupees. Now here if you see, Sunil, here they are asking you to calculate break-even sales in unit as well as in rupees. So then we will have to calculate in both. Third, sales to earn a profit of rupees 4,50,000. And fourth, new break-even point in rupees and unit if total fixed overheads are increased by 15%. So let us try to solve this question. First thing, we will have to calculate PV ratio. But before that, we will have to do marginal cost statement. The number of units produced or sold is not given, but the per unit column is given. So let us prepare marginal cost statement. Let us prepare marginal cost statement. Based on cost per unit. Marginal cost statement. Sales is let us have two columns, particular and CPU. So selling price per unit is 40. Less variable cost. In that first we will take direct material. Direct material is, you can see the question, direct material is 12. Second, direct labor is 9. Third, variable overhead is 7. Variable overhead 7. Now we will take the total of this. Let us take the total of this. See how much you are getting. 9 plus 7 16, 16 plus 12 will give you 28. Yes, 28. So you will have to subtract 28 from sales. You will get contribution. So your contribution will be 12. Why we have calculated this? Because the first thing, the first part which we will have to calculate is PV ratio, and the formula for PV ratio is contribution upon sales into 100. So now here if you see, we have contribution, we have sales as well. Okay, so now let us calculate the first part, PV ratio. So we will give the heading PV ratio, and the formula for PV ratio is equal to contribution upon sales into 100. That is equal to, contribution is 12 upon sales is 40 or into 100. So this gives you 12 upon 40 into 100 will give you 30%. So we got PV ratio. Let us circle that. We got PV ratio as 30%. Okay. Now let us calculate the second thing. Second part that we will have to calculate is break-even sales in unit as well as in rupees. So second part, let us calculate the second part. Second, break-even sales in unit. And break-even sales in rupees. So let us calculate first break-even sales in unit. The formula for break-even sales is fixed cost upon contribution per unit. So let us write fixed cost upon contribution per unit. That is equal to, now fixed cost, we have two fixed overheads. You will have to take the total of both. If you see the question, we have fixed factory overhead, we have fixed office overhead. So let us take the total of both, 3,20,000 plus 4,30,000. That gives us 7,50,000. So let us write here 7,50,000. This is our fixed cost. I hope you are able to understand how we got this 7,50,000. 3,20,000 plus 4,30,000. This is how we were able to get fixed cost. Okay, so we got fixed cost as 7,50,000 upon contribution per unit. Contribution per unit is 12. So that is equal to 7,50,000 divided by 12 will give you 62,500 units. Correct answer. So we'll have to write unit. You cannot say rupees. You will have to write unit because we are calculating break-even sales in unit. So let us circle this. Now we will calculate break-even sales in rupees. Break-even sales in rupees, and the formula is fixed cost upon PV ratio. So we can take fixed cost as 7,50,000 upon PV ratio, PV ratio, PV ratio. So just now we calculated PV ratio as 30%. So that is equal to, let us calculate, 7,50,000 divided by 30% will give us rupees 25 lakhs. So this is our break-even sales in rupees. So we were able to calculate the second part also. Now let us try to calculate the third part. So the third part is sales to earn a profit of rupees 4,50,000. So let us give the heading. Third, sales to earn a profit of rupees 4,50,000. Here we will have to apply the formula of expected sales, which is equal to expected profit plus fixed cost upon PV ratio. So let us put the value. Expected profit is 4,50,000 plus fixed cost. Fixed cost is 7,50,000 upon PV ratio. PV ratio is 30%. So that gives us, that is equal to rupees, let us add first. 4,50,000 plus 7,50,000 will give you 12 lakhs. Let us go step by step because there is marking for steps. You cannot skip any step. There is marking. 12 lakh divided by 30% will give us, again you are correct Lakshmi, it is 40 lakhs. Rupees 40 lakhs. So let us circle this. Let us finish the last part, because if you see the timing in the classroom, the timing of the classroom, time remaining is only 4 minutes. It is given downside. In 4 minutes our class will get over. So in 4 minutes we'll have to complete this, the last part. New break-even point in rupees and in unit if the total fixed cost is increased by 15%. So it's very simple. Let us increase the fixed cost. Let us calculate the new fixed cost. New fixed cost is equal to 7,50,000. 7,50,000 plus 15% of 7,50,000. 7,50,000 ka 15% is 1,12,500. 1,12,500. So that is the 15% of 7,50,000. So that will be, let us calculate 7,50,000 plus 1,12,500. 8,62,500. 8,62,500 is our new fixed cost. Okay, so now it is very simple. Let us calculate the break-even point in rupees first. Break-even point in rupees. The formula is fixed cost. Instead of fixed cost, let us write new fixed cost. New fixed cost upon PV ratio. Okay, so that is equal to, new fixed cost is 8,62,500. So 8,62,500 divided by PV ratio. PV ratio is 30%. So that will give you, let us calculate, 8,62,500 divided by 30% will give you 8,62,500 divided by 30%. 28,75,000, correct? Rupees 28,75,000. So this is the break-even point in rupees. Let us calculate break-even point in unit also. The formula will be new fixed cost upon contribution per unit. So let us complete this also. New fixed cost is 8,62,500 divided by contribution per unit is 12. That is equal to, so let us calculate 8,62,500 divided by 12. 71,000.